And we are freaking live, bitches.
Hello, America. This is Call of Duty Guys. Today is April 6, 2016. I have an article here from DC Clothesline titled Bundy Ranch Reporter and Political Prisoner. The only person to blame for the Bundy Ranch standoff is Daniel P. Love. Dated April 4th, 2016. Written by Tim Brown. It's, of course, about Pete Santilli. Oregon standoff Bundy Ranch reporter and Marine veteran Pete Santilli arrived at Henderson, Nevada Detention Center on March 29th to be arraigned on March 30th. Though Santilli has been arrested on obvious trumped-up charges, he remains steadfast about his decision to go and report on the Bundy Ranch siege in 2014. He also pointed the finger at Daniel P. Love, who was the lead investigator in a 2009 investigation which resulted in the wrongful death lawsuit. Brett Singh, who also led the Oregon standoff. Love was also in charge at the Bundy Ranch siege. According to Deb Jordan, who is the co-host of the Pete Santilli show, everyone to know that his resolve has not changed. In an interview with Santilli, he said, "When I arrived at Bundy Ranch in April of 2014, there was a clear and imminent danger and threat to my life and that of the Bundy family who were protesting within their rights given to them by God and outlined in the United States Constitution. It is now, as it has always been, that my testimony is the United States Bureau of Land Management, under the direction of Daniel P. Love, was poised in an aggressive manner, and having already displayed a willingness to physically harm the family and anyone who supported their protest, I believed my safety and the safety of everyone at the ranch was in question, and we were all in danger of losing our life. I never carried a firearm. I never picked up a rock. I never touched a federal officer," said Santilli. "Within the many archived hours of footage, you will be hard-pressed to see me or Cliven Bundy or many others charged with a weapon pointed at anyone. The only people pointing weapons at anybody when I arrived at Bundy Ranch was, as it has always been, the BLM. They can charge us with whatever they like, but it certainly doesn't make it so." Santilli even took the opportunity to speak with Daniel P. Love in an attempt to get him to reconsider what he was engaging in against the Bundys. And then you have in Oregon, when he tried to be a go-between to get the women and children out of the Moyer Wildlife Refuge after Lavoy Finicum's murder, because he just wanted to get the people out of there. He was then locked up. Let's have a look at that. Now, I'm at Mike Bluehair's YouTube channel, and here's a video titled "Lavoy Finicum Murdered by FBI, Journalist Pete Santilli Arrested." Mike Bluehair does a wonderful job at reporting this, and I'll just show you a snippet. And of course, I'll leave the link for this video below. I'll leave it in the description box, but I'm also going to leave the link in the comments below too, because something's wrong with YouTube and none of the links that I leave in the description box end up working. So let's have a little peek at this.
I was actually there when Pete Santilli, one of the guys that was arrested, I was there with him. He was basically trying to talk with the FBI and the sheriff's department to come to a peaceful resolution. He went and approached the FBI compound last night, and I was also in the car with him when he went and approached the sheriffs, because the FBI directed him over there. And he was putting forth the idea of getting some people to come down to the refuge and ask people to come out peacefully, when all of a sudden the sheriffs just grabbed Santilli and arrested him.
I need to be able to go up there and talk to him and say, "This is over, this is stupid, it's done, it's time to go. Gunshots being fired, that's stupid. Who do you want that? It's Yeah, I'm making a genuine offer here to get women and children, get them out of there.
Are you arresting Pete Santilli right now, sir?
How dare you make that offer?
I'm just going to document
Perhaps you should shoot him.
safe distance and document the
Fuckers.
arresting Pete, okay?
Hey, stay in the car. Stay in the car.
If you need me to back up, I'll back up, officer, okay?
Hey, why am I under arrest?
Okay, sure, just tell me where. Okay.
Sir, back up the camera right now. Right now, please.
I'm documenting, sir.
Okay. You can document from the car.
Okay, sure, I'll go into the car, sir.
Thank you.
I'm not going to put the camera away.
Any firearms?
No, sir. There's no firearms in the car, sir. Please don't aim the rifle at people.
So you saw that. You've probably seen the video before, and if you haven't, it's quite an eye-opener. Anyway, we'll get back to this article here. So Pete Santilli was trying to be the go-between and speak to the agents at the Bundy Ranch, as well as you just witnessed in Oregon. And, you know, they didn't lock him up at the Bundy Ranch, but they locked him up in Oregon for what he did at the Bundy Ranch, and he didn't do anything but tried to be a go-between. He tried to communicate with each party to resolve the issues at hand. It seems like the BLM, the federal government, Daniel P. Love did not want anything to do with that. Seems like there's an underlying agenda behind all of this, and we all know what that is. So let's go on and get a little reminder of what happened at the Bundy Ranch here.
Could I speak to a supervisor? I have an important concern. I'm not bullshit. Could I speak to a supervisor? Sir? Could I speak with a supervisor? Not yours, dude. Get back! Get back now! Get everything recorded. Just stand back here. Stand with me. Just stand with me. Stand with me. It's the best thing you can do right here. They throw down my aunt, dude. Listen to me. Listen to me. You stay right with me. You stay right with me. They threw down my aunt. Listen to me. Cousin 3 times. Listen to me. Stay right with me. Huh? We got on video. Who's the aggressor here? Who's the aggressor? Listen, let it go. Let it go. Am I carrying an AR? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Seriously. Don't give them the satisfaction of taking me away. Right? Stay with me. Okay? Listen to me. Listen to me. They're looking bad at me. Right? Don't give them the satisfaction. I know that. I know that. My family. I know that. Guys! Listen to me. Dude, listen. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't give them the satisfaction. I don't know if I got family members fighting for this freedom. That uncle's died for it. This is America. That's fucked up. Listen to me. Listen to me. You get on the record. I want you to talk to me right now. Yeah. Back up, okay? Yeah. I want you to tell the American public what you just saw, dude. All right? I want you to tell them. What did you just say? Enemy aggressors. This is the road I grew up on. This is the road I grew up on, 1359 Riverside Road, Highway 170, Nevada. And I just saw federal agents throw my aunt on the ground. I saw my cousin get tased 3 times. I saw him pull dogs and sick it on a pregnant woman. Right now, just now, it's happening as we speak.
Listen.
Because we had a couple questions. I got hit by multiple vehicles because I wanted a couple questions. They hit me with their mirrors. I got hit with that dump truck.
And in case you haven't seen that video, that is from Pete Santilli's YouTube channel. It's titled Bundy Standoff, Bundy Ranch protesters tasered by federal agents and attacked by canines. And you witnessed none of those people had weapons. They were being attacked. So it's my opinion that Pete Santilli is in jail for documenting the abuses, that the BLM were the aggressors and everything. He documented it in Oregon. He documented it in Nevada. And it's my contention that that is why he's in jail. And I'll leave the link for this as well. And let's get back to the article. You witnessed what Pete Santilli documented. It's pretty damning to the feds. They don't like that too much. I never thought in my lifetime that I would see anything like this. But it's coming. It's here. And everyone needs to wake up. The Bundys, the Hammonds, they are a huge wake-up call to those who are still sleeping. Anyway, Pete Santilli still says he did the right thing, and my goodness, through all the people that call him an agent, through all the crap that he's been through by both sides, and he still stands his ground. I'm very proud to call him a fellow American, and I can only imagine what Deb is going through without him. I'm sure it's a heavy financial burden. You can write to Pete Santilli, and you can donate. I'll leave the link for this article. The address is right there. So this is just a reminder that Pete Santilli is in jail as well. This is Call of Duty Goddess, signing off, and as always, I've got your 6.
Hello, welcome to this edition of Spitfire and the Sentinels. I'm Spitfire Sentinel. We have a whole host of Sentinels on with us tonight. What's happening, everybody?
What's going on?
Special guest tonight, E.J. Clinton. What's happening, Factions of Freedom?
How's it going, guys? Thank you for having me. I'm super stoked to be on the panel. Really.
Glad to have you here.
I got a lot of. I wasn't sure what we wanted to talk about, but I'm definitely glad you guys let in with Pete Santilli, because I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about his situation, and that's a prime example of what's going on right now. Mm-hmm. The independent media, alternative media, conscious media, whatever you would like to call it, it is under attack. Mm. But that's why, like I said, I'm super stoked that you guys are having me on here.
Super stoked having you, EJ, and plus, you know, we didn't want to be accused of being racist. So we had to have.
Yes.
You went there. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter, though.
He went there. He went there.
He did. He went there.
That's good, though. That's good. We're breaking the hardest rock at the start.
What's up, Roberto?
Oh, good heavens. Amazing things are happening. I'm going to go on the brighter side and the more positive side. There's a lot of people out there that are spilling the beans before they decide to leave this particular existence concerning a lot of things. A lot of the generals in the Strategic Air Command of the 509th bomb wing, the only nuclear bomb wing in the world at the time, are dying now and want to tell the truth so that they can go off into another eternity with a clear slate. So there's some great information coming out. I was reading today, was it Lori, right? You brought up the Nixon-Jackie Gleason relationship.
Yes.
And I went back and I reheard the story in a book. Jackie Gleason had up to 1,700 books concerning UFOs and the paranormal. His house was shaped in the shape of a quote flying saucer.
Yes.
Quite an individual, and there was a lot of golf time between him and President Nixon. Now remember, all we know about President Nixon is what the media has been told to us about President Nixon and Watergate and all the other little triggers that move populaces. Okay, so question everything you know because it's probably wrong. And the story behind them going to Homestead Air Force Base and viewing the dead bodies has been investigated, and it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. The fact that the things that we don't know is Nixon was quite brilliant, and remember his re-election was a landslide re-election, so things were going pretty good. And disclosure of extraterrestrial powers at that particular time would have been great for President Nixon. He had opened up China. Of course, he may have been a puppet. Who knows? I'm not going to argue that at this moment. But the fact is, he was going for disclosure. And, Watergate. So, history is interesting when you look back at it now with this perspective. But the good things are happening. Great to be with the crowd. How you guys doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing fantastic.
What's up for our Sentinel?
Oh shit! What's going on, man? What's going on? Not much, man. We had a really good show this afternoon. Other than that, I took some time after that to do some music stuff and update a little bit on the website and do some laundry and clean the house naked and
good.
Oh,
Good.
Yes, freaking man in alternative media.
That's good.
I'm just gonna say for the record, it's not creepy to clean your house naked while listening to Marvin Gaye.
I already said it was creepy until you told me what you were listening to. Then it became
Oh man,
When you have to set it up like that, I don't know.
I'm just so sensual with the laundry. You know, I feel like I'm cute when I'm domestic.
It sounds like higher love.
No, man. All joking aside, man. I've just been, busting ass as everybody else has. Working hard to get these big fat paychecks we get. So,
what's going on, Lori?
Not much. Took the day off today. Getting ready for our show this week. Actually, tomorrow. I'm going to have a part 2 to my video or my interview with Anonymous. I was contacted today. They want to come on and they want to talk about a few things. They want to address this AXJ situation. So, Mike, I'm going to get with you for tomorrow, and stay tuned, everybody.
Wow, that's good.
Oh,
Excellent. Yeah. Now, when you say interview with Anonymous, there's about 3 million. So this is
so many.
Somebody who is higher up in the organization.
This person is leader of a few of the different. I don't even know how to say different sects, different sections of it. Different sections of it. It's going to be him. It's going to be him, and it's going to be actually there's going to be 2 of them that would like to talk about this. They contacted me. I contacted them the other day with AXJ and sent them a bunch of information. He contacted me today and said that they are very interested in it. They're taking a look at it, and he would like to come on and talk to us. So.
And you want me to join you too?
I certainly do. I do.
What time's this gonna be?
It's whenever you want. I have all day tomorrow.
I got a photo shoot with GQ right after my show, but I can.
Oh yeah.
No, I thought so.
In the toilet.
Lori,
Time magazine photo shoot.
yeah, Lori, you know I'll be there. Always.
I know you will. I know you will. I'll let you know. I had to kind of he called me while I was in with you guys here, and I'll call him back after the show. But I'm going to try to pick up something for tomorrow afternoon, I'm sure.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll
So,
definitely.
how are all you guys doing tonight?
What's up, Karen DeMaio?
Hey, how are you? How you guys all doing?
Good.
Karen.
Hey, Mark.
Haven't heard this voice in a long time, honey. How are you?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Peachy. Nothing's changed. I just got fatter.
You have some of mine.
There's more to love. That's all.
Yeah.
Who, doggy?
Oh, good God. Yeah, things have been interesting on my end of it. I'm sure you guys know what I'm still going through.
Yes.
But I wanted to actually mention something. I'm still out there trying to wake people up. I met an interesting young person today who just came out of high school about a couple years ago. It's still amazing to me how many people are still out there that don't know about the third building that fell on 9/11.
That's right.
We just talked about tonight. Somebody asked me about when somebody's first waking up, and I just kept saying, Building 7. Building 7. Building 7.
That's it. That's it.
Building 7.
That's a great starter piece for anybody who's just waking up.
He has been added
Excellent.
on to the FB circle, and I pulled him into a couple people on there. So I posted a link for him, so maybe you guys can introduce yourselves and help him out a little bit, bring him into more awareness on things. He's very interested, so I put him up there.
Definitely send him our way, Karen.
Yeah, I have a tendency to like throw things like at people. I have to be careful because I have a tendency of having people in the fetal position rocking back and forth, dueling on themselves, so I have to be real careful. You might want to send them to somebody else who's not going to like throw something at them.
Hey, look, it's only temporary. It only hurts for a little bit.
I know, right? It only hurts for a minute.
It only hurts for a minute.
And of course, keep going, Karen. Just tell me to shut up.
No, I didn't catch what you said. What was that?
Oh, I just keep going. No, keep going.
Oh,
I just burped. That's all. Don't pay attention to me.
the other thing I guess I can mention that I've been dealing with, I have court still coming up for the little situation I had with a bank trying to take my property while I'm living on it. So I'm still dealing with that situation. I got a lawsuit going on with that. So yeah, I've been pretty busy trying to deal with that. It's been, I can't even find the words. I've been really stressed out over that. So it's happening to so many people.
And how we can help you too. What we can do in support-wise. Do you have a lawyer?
Yeah, I got a lawyer.
Isn't that nice? You got to spend a bunch of money to frickin' even try to fight this corruption.
Yeah, I got to come up with some extra money for that. The court date's the 20th. So it's coming up soon. Yeah, this month.
Definitely keep us updated. We've also got Jeremy over there. I don't think you've all met Jeremy yet. Jeremy, star reporter. He sends me just tons of awesome information. It keeps me updated on just about everything going on. How you doing, Jeremy?
Good, brother. Glad to be on, man. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and meet everybody, talk to Mike a bit, talk to you a bit. I haven't met most of the rest of you guys in person anyway, and I'm just glad to get a chance to come on, say hi.
Good to meet you.
He's going to be on tomorrow with me. He's going to call in and have his say. I missed a bunch of text messages during the show today. I felt terrible.
Good, brother.
And then also over here we have E.J. Clinton, Factions of Freedom.
Salutations. How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm very happy to be on this panel. We got a lot of people.
Right. So we got through everybody. I think we did all our introductions to each other. What do you guys want to do next?
Take over the world.
That sounds good.
Sounds
One
good to me.
mind at a time.
Sounds good to me, Pinky.
I'm
I feel
gonna throw
like
it on you, EJ.
I feel like we should talk about the assault on alternative media and why having this many people all at once is like important to move the ball forward for everything that's going on, for what they're trying to do to us, and to pretty much just, give us a reason for why we're doing all this.
Well, that's an interesting topic to bring up. I have something interesting to add to that. I just found an article that was posted about 7 hours ago about a Delaware judge who ordered Al Jazeera International USA to pay Al Gore $15 million for legal fees. Something to do with them trying to take over a media network and not getting a channel to produce or whatnot. So they're involved in a takeover with media just along with that, with Al Gore being involved. Isn't that amazing?
So he didn't get enough. He didn't get enough money when he sold them his news station to begin with.
Right.
I guess not. Not to mention.
He didn't get enough money when he created the internet. I mean, was
Yeah, he didn't get enough money whenever he created global warming.
I don't know. Not to mention, 19 million Filipinos from an area due to high rising sea levels. That's another one.
Well, didn't he just buy a house on the coast of California, from what I heard, even though he's worried about the rising sea levels?
So he could make money off of all the people in California.
Well, we knew he's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. Really, seriously?
Well, you can either call that an oxymoron or just call him a moron. I mean, it goes both ways.
I knew it would start rolling this way.
Well, it's just like they put out these phony stories and these phony things for us to try to, get tripped on, whether or not it's global warming or if it's climate change. It's all semantics. It's the same thing. It's still a hoax. I mean, to a degree, there's man-made climate change, but Al Gore should not be profiteering off of our confusion. That doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
Yeah, the whole thing with the climate change movement is they've admitted to messing with the numbers for the last 15, 20 years or more, and then they turn right back around and they chemtrail the shit out of all of us, and wonder why people get on the internet with any kind of a theory as to what is going on, because they know good and well the skies aren't blue anymore.
Yeah. It's like, what did Ted Gunderson call them? He called them death dumps. The whole chemtrail situation, he called it death dumping.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are able to see, they're seeing the effects. They're waking up. They're like, hey, why is this cloud looking like a pencil? That doesn't make sense,
And chemtrails don't last all day. I mean, they used to go away within a few minutes. Contrails. And at the end of the day, they've tested, they found the barium, the aluminum, everything that, under the sun that's not supposed to be there. We're inhaling, and now there's people with they're literally calling chemtrail flu.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's something. I talk to people all the time about chemtrails, and they're like, "Oh, those are just contrails." So I started taking pictures and posting them up with all kinds of squiggly lines crossing each other, making designs in the sky. And I said, if we're not talking about chemtrails or purposely dumping of something in our sky, then we have a whole different thing that we need to talk about, and that's drunk pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's... I'm serious. I'm like, look at that. I had over my house, day before yesterday, I had 5 planes dumping over my house. 5 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. I had people actually ask me, "Are you sure they're not just test rockets?" Oh yeah, flying over our house, making all kinds of
Test rockets.
test rockets. Yeah, that was the newest one I heard, and I literally fell out of my chair.
Test rocket. That one's the best. That one is Actually, I got a notebook for dumbest things I've ever heard, and I'm writing. Like, serious. Like, when is the last time you seen a test rocket turn the sky into a fucking chessboard? Like, you know what I mean? It looks like tic-tac-toe up there. They don't even try to hide it anymore, man. Oh, look, that's just condensation. Yeah, buddy. Sure it is.
We're all too busy looking on our phones to notice anything.
That's
Yes,
true.
it's true. That's so true.
Amen to that.
They created this cyber world for us.
Yeah,
Have you guys
created
noticed
they've created a cyber world that's more stimulating to our brains than the real world.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. People don't go outside, and if they do, have you noticed the dust levels in your house or on your cars? You can wash your car and it'll be dirty in like 30 minutes.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yes.
You know? But see, like what we're all talking about, I feel like right now, these are all factors they're going to use for this whole climate change Agenda 2030, like push that they're doing. Like all these things that are legitimate problems that they're causing. This is what I would consider climate change. You can't go into the air spraying this stuff and expect nothing's going to happen.
Well, it's the whole problem, reaction, solution. They're trying to provide all of it.
What do you call it, Roberto?
The Hegelian dialect.
No, an even better one for what they do into the sky, though.
Oh.
Starts with a T.
Terraforming.
Terraforming.
Terraforming,
Right.
yes. Yep.
Sounds
They're creating an atmosphere indicative to, I believe, the human forms that they're trying to create through DNA manipulation.
Yes.
You know, we could get into the whole Rh negative bloodline of the elite and talk about that, but and this is one thing is a lot of the chemtrails are DNA specific. So they are targeting certain individuals with the different chemicals that they're putting out there. So yeah, that's yet another rabbit hole.
It's like go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and now you've got Monsanto putting seeds out that are aluminum resistant because that's how much of that crap that's falling down on us.
Right. Right.
The regular seeds won't grow.
Well, that's why terraforming is like an appropriate word for what these people are doing. Is terraforming is the only way to explain it, because I mean they're literally changing the natural flow of things.
H.G. Wells coined that. Okay, so
I can say one thing, and I think it all comes down to this too. You can't patent the natural circle of life, but you can definitely patent a geoengineered circle of life, and that's when it comes down to money.
Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely.
That's it.
Did you go ahead, Roberto?
Patent the natural blade of grass, but you can definitely patent one that you make in a laboratory.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what they're doing with the Zika virus, and I don't know if you guys saw, but an article came out the other day where they were talking about how they've apparently found a new HIV drug. You know, it's where they go out and they cause these problems. You know, pushing drugs into the black community, pushing drugs into pretty much society, like through the CIA. You know, back in the 70s, just making an entire generation of addicted people, so that later on down the lines, we're dependent on the state.
Drugs and disease.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, drugs and disease.
For certain races, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they actually missed not one angle of control. I think they've pretty much cornered the market.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And they've had decades,
Very cool.
decades and decades and centuries to carry this out and plan it. It's all a carefully orchestrated plan, and they're succeeding every single day on it.
Well, on a positive note, they haven't cornered the market on one thing. Truth.
What's that? Oh, I love you. Amen.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the new supposed species of shark that looked like it was a Fukushima mutation that came out the other day?
I did not.
Yeah, a guy caught it down off the coast of Mexico, I believe it was, and it was pink and veiny. It was putrid, wasn't it, Roberta?
What was it?
It was a shark.
Oh my gosh.
It was one as is it Jeff? Had
Jeremy.
mentioned Jeremy. I'm sorry, it's Jeremy. One of the many species now that we see come floating up on our shores. Everybody was hollering about Fukushima, but everybody got distracted with something. You name it, we're distracted. and here schools of sperm whales are beaching themselves. Oddities.
What?
The best ways you can describe it. Oddities, in ocean life now. By the way, stay out of the canned tunas, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Without a doubt.
No doubt.
Like a little mercury with your fish.
What the hell is that?
Good for you. Eat it.
Hold
What's
on.
that?
Back the hell up. Back this
Wait a minute now.
Put it
I think
up.
we're going to make this is a way to, people are making you famous.
Well, EJ had brought up, that he wanted to talk about what's going on in the alternative media, so I've got some specially prepared clips because they just keep rolling out about the truth about us and just how ridiculous they get. You'd like to see this one, huh, Laura?
I don't even have a Twitter account. I don't even have a Twitter account.
With the Dark Huntress, Shalmar.
Oh my God. How easy is it for somebody to make a freaking Twitter account and say that it's mine? Seriously, really? I don't even do Twitter.
Well,
I don't.
You see down here? Fakery it.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Oh, dude, look at the picture they got of me on there. Yeah.
There you go.
See that?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Bringing out the Satanism. Bring it. Yes.
So I think
no secret. I used to be one.
Right.
Congratulations, guys. I openly admitted it. So wait
like the picture they keep pulling off my Facebook page from me of Halloween that they keep saying that I'm a tranny.
Whatever. Your legs were fucking hot. Tell me.
I thought so too.
Anyway, just for Lori's sake, I will say that profile picture right there that we're seeing is way hot.
Yep, we like
Just
that.
Just saying.
So here's what they got to say about Lori Alexander.
Awesome.
Is that what that says?
I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I'm really sorry that we had to do it this way, but it did. Unfortunately, they chose this. This is the way they chose to do it. So
don't attack us, and we won't do this.
Right? Yeah.
Because if you attack us, there's one of you, and there's a multitude of us, and we are going to come back at you, and we are going to be unrelenting.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If you attack one of our brothers and sisters, you're attacking all of us, and that's the way I feel.
Absolutely, I agree.
I do. So, thank you for everybody for letting us today.
No, it gets really, it's real good too.
Dubstep? That's funny.
Well, at least you can promote a music video. I mean. So they put this up today.
Oh yeah.
They're just putting up all this public information.
Yeah,
over and over again.
That's not even current information. So
Yeah,
nice try.
They're putting up public information that isn't even hers.
Well, no, I mean it is. I used to live at 437 18th Drive. I moved out of there in 2012.
It's really hard to get mine sitting on. It's listed on my business listing on
Right.
freaking.
I moved from 437 North 18th Drive. I moved there in no, afraid not. That's not.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's Shelmar. This is you.
I don't even have a Twitter account.
Because you're Shelmar.
This is what happens when you give fools access to the internet. So he has a video of him photoshopping right there, or?
It doesn't even fucking fit. You got a mustache now.
I do.
He's got all right taste in music, I'll tell him that.
Yeah, well. All those pictures are off of my of my Facebook account.
They investigated hardcore to get this stuff.
Every single one of those are from my Facebook account.
I think this is a stalker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are my grandbabies. There's my daughter, my son, my grandchildren, my ex-husband. There's my ex-husband.
Hey, just a quick question. Wouldn't this be considered doxing?
Yeah, it would be considered doxing, I think.
It's okay for them to do. It's not okay for us to do, Mike. Don't you know that?
Well, the thing is we didn't even fucking do it in the first place. We
not
just
okay for anyone else to do except for them.
Oh, that's funny shit. Let me tell you.
This is ridiculous.
Doxing was until he showed me that. Didn't even know what that word meant.
Yeah, these are all off of my Facebook account.
This guy has too much time on his hands.
All these guys do. That's the thing, and they could be using it to fight the forces of evil, but they're using it to do shit like this.
Right.
Put the link to this channel in the sidebar because I can't seem to find them.
I can't find it either. It's pretty funny.
Lori Alexander Exposed. She is Dow Contra 666.
No, I mean just the Fakery Shill network. Send me that link.
You guys caught me. You guys caught me. I mean, what do you want me to? I mean, seriously. First off, I don't have a Twitter account. Second off, you got all those pictures off of my Facebook account. What have you exposed? What have you exposed?
You're this other woman here.
No, I'm not. That's me.
Yeah, you are. Quit lying.
That is me. That is me.
But your name is Shalmar. You're Shalmar.
No, I'm not Shalmar. But
that's what all that is.
See what that is that's them creating a profile for you. That's them trying to set you up.
Yeah.
That is me. That is totally me. And those are all pictures off of my Facebook account. That was my public Facebook account. Every single picture you see, I'm moonlighting. Yes, I'm moonlighting. I don't know what I'm moonlighting as, but apparently I'm moonlighting. Oh, that is some funny shit.
You're Shelmar.
Who's Shelmar?
No, but she's dark. She's dark and
Good God. Oh, fuck. Thank you, guys. Whoever made that video, I really want to say thank you because, you know, you are helping to get the exposure out. You're helping to get people to me. Because once they come to our shows and they listen to us, they're not going to leave because we have fun and they like us. So thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
Consider it like a free promo.
Actually, seriously, it is like they are making us famous. So thank you. Bravo.
Woohoo! Next we have a dandy about Scott Scheller. God, this freaking dude, October Inch, is such a freaking tool. He leads you up to this like huge, like, well, it's gonna be big, and then they show up stuff that's public information.
It is.
Like, we got you.
And it's not even current.
Facebook.
Like I said, that 437 North 18th Drive, I moved out of there in April of 2014. Or I'm sorry, 2012. I moved out of there 2012. I moved in with my soon-to-be husband. I got married in September of 2012. So, I mean, the information that they got is just absolutely freaking hilarious.
Unconstitutional moderator.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Look at the triangles in his eyes.
Illuminati confirmed.
Scott has a very big secret he thought would never get out, but it was on his freaking public profile.
Oh,
this guy found it.
Are you going to show the other video too, please?
Which one? I'll show any you want.
They have 3 videos. You gotta show the Meet the Fakeriots.
Yeah, see if you can find it, man.
I'll put it in the side room for you.
Yeah, freedom. We knew it.
What's it called?
Meet the Fakeriots.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, too funny.
Jesus.
You caught him. He said it in the freaking public chat room.
Oh snap! Screenshots.
That's all they do, DJ. They do entire videos with just screenshots now.
Can I show you guys? Can you guys see my screen right quick?
Let's pop it on.
Let's see if I can send this.
I love that part because the font isn't even the same as the rest of the room. I love that. Do you see that? If you're gonna fake something and lie about it, at least get the font right, will ya?
Oh my God! Look at this, secrets exposed.
Oh my God!
Look at EJ's freaking screen share in the chat room. You're one of them, aren't you?
Oh, yep. You know me. I'm the plant. I've been working on this for months.
You better not say you're a plant, man. Mike's going to come over and smoke you.
Oh no, EJ's exposing us. Oh no.
I was trying to show you guys this post I found.
Put yours back on, EJ.
Okay. Come on, laptop. Don't be slow right when I need you. So this was that post I was talking to you guys about. I blacked out his name. And this is kind of like along the same lines of like a paid troll, a disinfo agent. And I put the link in there in the chat room so you guys can see it too. But I'll just read it right now. It says, I'm going to drop a little bit of inside New World Order Illuminati info for you all. You already know that we hide our operations in plain sight, but do you know why? Well, let me fill you in. When we drop hints and clues all over the place, it prompts truth seekers, people like, me, you, and everybody here on this network, this awesome network. It prompts us to create websites and groups such as this one, the Worldwide False Flags group on Facebook. And in turn, we paid shills swarm the websites, the pages, the groups, and start debunking and spreading disinfo. This is what the government means when they talk about job creation. As many of you have really suspected, we get paid for our shilling. And where do you think that money comes from? It comes from your taxes, of course. By creating these platforms and then engaging us in senseless wars, you're creating a demand for our services. The government then cleverly hides our operations in various bills and policies that the spending is legitimized. It's actually quite genius in its simplicity, and best of all, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Well, how much they get paid?
More than me, that's for sure.
all I got to say is congratulations. You caught the tater.
It's people like that when I look at stuff like that, I'm thinking the balls in the sky. But at the same time, I'm like, he's that kid that got picked on in high school, and because he, didn't know what he was doing, he went and joined the nerd guys, the cops, those weekend loser guys, and now he found somebody he fits in with.
Bingo.
The haters.
That's what all of these frickin' shill groups are all about. That's it.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing is I think they're getting a little butthurt because what I heard today is Tachyon, his channel was taken down.
Aww.
I know.
Poor guy.
I know. Well, if he would stop harassing people, maybe his channel would stay up longer. I don't know.
I feel really bad because he was making good videos about me.
I know. All I got to say is at least they got my sexy side. Okay, got that? Whoop.
Oh, I screenshotted a lot of those. Yeah. No.
But it was all public. It was all public up until 2 days ago when I shut my page down to private. So I mean, yeah, you could have gotten it. Not a problem.
Now EJ will be the next one they do a video.
Absolutely.
Oh,
EJ,
for sure.
because you are guilty by association, my dear.
Sure.
Welcome to the Haters Club.
Welcome.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Nice.
That link.
This is exactly where I want to be. Awesome.
Awesome. That link you share with me, like it's not working. It says can't be found. Did they take it down?
No,
it should be able up.
Let me see. No, I see it.
See, okay, go see if you can. Pull it up and screen share.
You won't get any sound because I'm on my new computer.
Oh, can somebody else copy and paste that too, and see see if they can share it, because it's coming up not found on mine.
Yeah, because this is one of those things that absolutely right away they got to go after Pete first, because according to them, Pete is running. We're running channels for Pete while he's sitting in jail right now.
Well, yeah, we're running a prostitution ring too, and we're running.
I've got the clincher. I've got the clincher. Okay, I will admit I was trolling the other day, and
we all do it sometimes.
Because we all slum it every once in a while. Okay, but here's the thing. Apparently, now I hope you're all sitting down. Apparently, Scott is our handler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. Scott is our handler. Have you met us all? Scott can't handle us. Have you been in some meetings with us?
I love unconstitutional moderators. That is my favorite. Seriously? Like, is that a thing? What is that?
It's your new title.
Scott,
Oh my goodness, that's so
Scott's got quite a fan club out there, man.
He does. He's now the George Washington of moderators, of unconstitutional moderators. Well, if you play that video, I did comment. I had to. I couldn't help it.
No, sometimes you can't help it.
And I invited him on the show and gave him my email. I don't think I'll see him, but it's your usual suspects. Of course, Possums is in there.
Good God.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
That's just crazy that you guys have repeat people that are trolling you guys. You know them by name.
Have we ever had any of these guys come on that we asked to come on, Mike? They never. I don't think once. Not once. The only time a guy we didn't know was a troll, and he threw up some stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Yeah, we know better now. We learned our lesson.
Yeah, we won't be doing that. We'll send you a private link.
Yeah, we won't be putting it up in the chat room anymore. But
I'm going to give them my Google Plus number.
Right.
There you go.
They can call in because what's the point of coming on the show? They ain't going to show their faces.
Right. And by the way, the delay feature only works with an encoder. I don't have an encoder.
Oh,
bang, bitches.
There you go.
Bang, bitches.
You gotta play it. I can't believe it's not available.
It won't come up. I keep copying and pasting. It won't work.
Damn it! There's some really, really good pictures of me going to a Marilyn Manson concert, looking like the devil himself.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I've seen. I know I've seen that one, but
in the link you just put up in the chat room.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, it starts off with Pete, of course.
Yeah, of course, because they're got such a hard on for Pete.
Now they've went ahead and put my daughter. My daughter is in that picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is a real big fucking mistake. And
don't.
Oh, they put pictures in.
And Lori's too. And
once again,
then they put a picture of me and my fiance in there, who is the most quiet girl ever. Oh,
see,
here you go.
I feel like all of these are tactics to distract us. I mean, we know.
Well, they are.
It's just ridiculous. Like the electronic harassment, the level of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these people don't have anything better to do with their time, but at the other end of that, they want to try and pull people away from the truth. So it's just, we've even got that going on in the Patriot community where anybody that says anything that might not set well, wasn't meant bad, but might not set well with someone else, instantly they're a shill, they're an informant, they're some sort of infiltrator,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like they look for the smallest niche or the smallest chink in your armor to try to poke holes in everything you've done, as if all of the work that you've amassed is just apparently a lie. It never happened. It wasn't worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and actually, it kind of popped up last night. I was in the chat room, and I don't do a lot of chat usually because it is pretty toxic, honestly. But I was in the chat room, and I was on my YouTube app, and apparently I typed well over the amount of characters in the limit, and it posted, and Scott caught it, and kudos to Scott for catching it. But instantly, man, I started getting called out, and I'm like, what did I do? So I tried to get hold of Mike earlier today, and, dude, I'm down with, Mike, Eric, you guys ask me anything, not on air, because there's some info I obviously don't want out
Lori,
on air.
hit pause.
Oh, you found it.
She did, but it's already been going. It's not on the big screen. You got to hit pause.
Yeah, the night before these videos, just say hello. My name's Eric, and I am a recovering troll. I have done it. It's because I like to write. I'm a writer. I like to type, and I like to. It's too hard. It's hard to resist sometimes. And then they go make videos about you, which we can just put on here and make them look even dumber. So keep doing it, please.
I'm going to put my own troll video up of myself and show you how. Yeah. I'm going to troll myself and see what happens. So, yeah, let's everybody mute so everybody can see what's being shown up on the screen.
So you guys can see it?
Yep.
There's no sound, no. Oh, because Lori muted, there's no sound. You gotta get put you back on, Lori. And there's still no sound.
All right, there's no sound. I mean, there's music, but I can't get it to play.
My personal favorite. It's not obviously Halloween. No sound? Wow, Mike couldn't get sound either. I can put some sound in.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, look how mean that is. That was Mike and his daughter going to a Manson concert because he's the evil one.
The evil one.
They're really into his chest. That's a little creepy. Yeah, look at that shit. Boom!
I got some music.
Yeah, and that right there, she's gorgeous, just so you know.
Like, boom, win. And there was a couple different places.
I went and worked out with you at that private
Stop!
gym.
I'm just
Remember, I was working out with you,
I didn't
and you
know
were
that
sweating like a pig.
I didn't know that Ed Schultz and Charlie Sheen had this kind of relationship. But it's nice to.
Well, they're hanging out in their home theater, Glenn, and they
really
were
buff. You were in your underpants.
Yeah, remember that?
I was Charlie. I wear nothing but a hat.
Remember, you took a shower, and then I went in there and I followed you in there, and you didn't know I was in there. Right. And I was looking at you around the corner.
Right.
And then you kind of turned around, so I looked the other way and I waited for
it. It was kind of an awkward moment, but we both enjoyed it anyway.
And we just looked at each other for like 30 seconds, eye to eye, really close.
Right. As men, though. As men, Charlie. Remember when I was at your house?
Yeah, we
watching you work out because I know you, and I was there at your house.
We watched a similar scene on the movie theater, your home theater.
Remember that?
And then there was a time that you were washing your face, and then the soap was dripping down so lusciously down your I just helped you out. I just helped you clean down in that area just to see what would happen, and you were okay with it. And remember that? Remember when I was over your house?
Remember I said, remember this again in slow motion? Remember this again in slow motion? And we filmed it, and it went out on the internet. Remember that?
I mean, they put you through an incredible workout. You're there exercising in the pool.
Oh, yeah, you remember that? Remember that? You're in your Speedo.
You guys are sick. You guys are sick.
That picture with Eric and I together, by the way, though, does prove that we're not the same person.
Right.
They did debunk their own theory on that one.
Look at him, man. He looks like a fucking badass in that picture before that. He looks like he'd kill you.
And then you got up and you had the sweat stains on it, and I made sure
Photoshop.
Remember my tongue was on your elliptical.
You went and took a shower at the gym, and I took your gym shorts and I just sniffed them. You walked in. I was trying to make sure that these were the clean ones, that I could fold and put away. And remember,
Doom is a really big guy. I don't think anybody would go up to Doom and fuck with him.
No.
Remember that? I've seen your hernia.
Oh man, look at your gluttony. Eating those potatoes.
There it is, one of the 7 deadly sins.
If I'm really, really good, can I touch your hernia? Or if I'm really, really bad, whatever you prefer, I can touch your hernia.
Yeah, remember that? And then you had those canker sores, and I was just touching the canker.
No. Oh, look at that! A blast from the past.
Wake up to the truth.
Content of your canker sore.
I have like a pH balance thing on the end of my tongue.
Oh.
Hemorrhoids,
I've seen him. I've seen him.
Holy shit, dude! Look at my Little League pictures. Come on.
It is the weirdest broadcast comment.
Hey, there's my guitar player, Adam, and Jake. You met them, Eric.
All right.
Well, you know what? I've seen your
Obviously evil.
Oh, yeah.
Say that, and he's bragging about it as if it's something he should be telling other people.
Remember, well, that's because I was in his house, in his gym, checking his hernia. That's how blessed we are. Not a lot of men check other men's hernias, but I have. I can tell you the weirder broadcast moment. Yeah, it's at the beginning of the interview. Listen how he builds up getting there. Yeah. I think that's more uncomfortable. Then I've seen your hernia. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. It makes sense that he's seen his hernia after you hear the beginning.
When I was there 2 weeks ago at your house, you looked totally clean. You were working out super hard. I went and worked out with you at that private
place. You know when you're You are so hot and so clean. People say you don't have bunions. I've seen your bunions. Clean. Your hernia is clean.
Well, you know what? I've seen your hernia.
I know it's clean. Nobody can tell me you don't have a clean hernia. And I have. I'm going to clean you like a cat cleans you. Yeah, like a cat cleans himself, I'm going to clean you, Charlie. So it's going to have you're that clean. But in a manly way. There's something weird about it. Man-cat sort of way. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Glenn Beck, but that was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
As much time in actual attacks on individuals that deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
God. Hey, just wanted to pop in real quick and address Jeremy. Were you around about 6-7 months ago in the chat room when we had the attack of the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember where they were just coming in and cloning all of us?
I vaguely do, yes.
Well, and that was the kicker. Was what they were doing was they were cloning accounts, and they were doing it just. I mean, we were getting hundreds a night, and they were cloning everybody from Pete Santilli all the way down to average individuals. The mods and Santilli, we knew who. You know, obviously they didn't have wrenches or the little yellow crown, but average members, we had no clue who they were. And the only way that we knew was if the real guy spoke up and go, "I'm not fucking typing." And so we were able to target it like that. But that still, it's been 7 months, and that week and a half, 2 weeks where they were just coming in and bombarding us, it actually required YouTube to come down and monitor the chat room, and they were starting to grab ISPs and start to permanently ban those ISPs from YouTube because that's way over the top, and their engineers were in those chat rooms. But that being said, it still rings true in my mind that, okay, they had that tactic that they utilize, but at the same time, if somebody's doing something that I can't do in the chat room, I want to know why. We figured out one, and I'm not going to broadcast it just so that hack isn't known. We figured out one through the process of trial and error, and that's why I was asking you how you were accessing the YouTube chat room. And if it was an app outside, then that probably is what explains it. But it does boil down to if somebody's doing something they're not supposed to be doing by the rules of YouTube, it does raise red flags. We're just kind of like, yeah, okay, we might know your name, but do we know the person behind the keyboard?
No, dude, it's cool, and that's why I said I'm down for you, Mike, or Eric, anyone, whatever you guys need off the air, you got it. Not a problem, bro.
Yeah, and that's not, you know, and again, your reputation, my reputation, our reputations are literally our name and what we say. And if somebody comes in and they're playing off to beat you, and the account looks mimicked, and we're not going to your YouTube page. We can't tell the we're not looking at that per se on a daily basis because hey, we've seen you enough. And I'm just using you as an example. We've seen you enough where I'm not popping over your Facebook page, so I'm not going to know it's a brand new page that has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? So somebody can come in, start talking some shit, and we're all like, dude, what the fuck? So we boot you, so you get booted, an individual gets booted. They come in the next night, we're all like, wait a minute, we booted you last night, you're gone, before you even have a chance to say, wait a second. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just one where, and that was one I wanted to come in and personally address, because we try not to be critical in that regards, but if somebody's doing something that doesn't look quite right, it does raise a red flag, whether I've known you for a day or whether I've known you for a year. So
no, and that's why I say kudos for catching it. And I didn't take offense, other than that is the divisiveness that's running through our movement, and that is a concern. But it's also, and I even said it last night, my guard's up too because of all of the junk that goes on and all the trolling. So I get it.
And what was killer, and this has actually only been something that I've noticed within about the last week and a half, I guess. I don't know, time's flying. What day is it? What month is it? But it's something that I've only noticed relatively recently. And the first 3 people that I questioned on it turned just fucking trollage real fast, and they just started. Once I'm like, how can you do this? And just questioning them. They're like, oh, fuck you, fuck this, fuck, and I'm like, whoa!
Just ask the questions.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So it's set up that precedent. Kind of doing that was not necessarily in the positive frame of reference.
Yeah. No, anything I've got, man, you'll need. I'm an open book. Like I said, I'm probably not going to do it on air on every little thing, but as long as it's something that's going to put my family at risk or something, dude, I've got no problems.
Yeah, nor should you. And Jeremy, from that point of view, knowing though that it is something with your account and how you're accessing the channel, that's now, you're a positive aspect, you're a positive influence, both with the shows and with the chat room. So it's you specifically not so much of an issue unless you come in, cursing everybody out one day. Then we might go back to questioning and going, hey, who do you think you are? These guys, all they do is they literally just troll Facebook and get whatever images they can. This looks like the greatest hits of Pete Santilli.
Yeah.
Because that's all they can find on me. They went to LinkedIn and they went to Facebook pictures that I have. And if this is the limit of their research ability, they should have come to me and asked for a resume. I would have given them at least an updated copy.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. And that's the whole thing. Is I get it, and when you put yourself out there, it's to be expected that there are going to be some questions asked. The whole thing is, and I know you guys feel this way too to a point, it is funny to a degree, but it also is your name, it is your reputation out there, and as much as anybody else, if I do something, I'll legitimately say I take responsibility for that if it's something bad. But don't, call me out on something unless you've got all the facts. And that's just all I was getting at last night.
And I absolutely agree. And one of the things that what we personally have to remember is that we personally don't have enough time to go out trolling other channels and other sites. We're trying to focus on what the real issues are, and I wish I had enough time to get a full night's sleep, let alone spend this amount of crap time doing things that are not productive and beneficial. And the fact that they're producing this just tells you that their intent is not in the right place.
Yep.
So that being
I agree.
said, that's a critique on them, but at the same time, we come back and we look, hey, before I got involved with Pete, I had pretty much a zero internet footprint. I didn't post anywhere, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do any of this crap. And now I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm out there job hunting and somebody wants this video, it might be funny, but it can still be harmful in that regards that, it's not that I really care all that much, it's just, is it necessary? And what is the game? Is there anybody on this panel or in the chat room that believes a word of it? Is it going to infect impact any of our viewers if they put out something on Mike or me or Jeremy or Damien or Lori, even Roberto. I mean, if they put something out negative, it's obviously just a hatch piece. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yep. No, you're right, and go ahead. I'm sorry,
guys. No more needs to be said. If you're one of the good ones, and something occurs, it's going to get worked out. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to worry about that, except for if it's EJ, of course, because you're black.
Hey.
That's the only reason, of course.
If anything, I'm the reason it happened. I'm the lucky charm.
Right. I am the soup.
What are you saying, Eric, that the network's an equal opportunity employer now?
It is, but we don't have any Japanese, we don't have any Chinese.
I know a guy.
Look, as long as we don't have midgets, man, they freak me out.
Oh, come on! If we have midgets who serve beer, who doesn't love that? I mean,
that's fine. They can broadcast from your house. Just let me know so I'm not there.
What day could not be brightened by midgets serving you beer? How about midget strippers serving you beer?
Hell no.
Midget hookers?
I saw a midget kiss and freaked out. And I ran the hell out of the bar. I was too high for that.
What the hell's going on?
So I had a quick question I wanted to ask Roberto real quick.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, Roberto.
Hey.
Yesterday you were on talking about the secret space program, right? I wanted to know what your thoughts are on the inner Earth theory and pretty much underground civilizations, like deep underground military bases, and how those kind of, I guess, involve the secret space program, or what your thoughts are like on a breakaway civilization.
Oh my goodness, man, that's major. The breakaway civilization, a major portion of it is underground.
Mm-hmm.
In cities that would boggle our little mud brains. we haven't a concept. They're there. So as well as extraterrestrial. They were extraterrestrial at one point. How many 100,000 years ago? Established themselves in underground facilities all over the world. Antarctica, of course, being a major one. The Pleiadians, of course, or Nordics, have been attributed to establishing a lot of these underground facilities hundreds of thousands of years ago, and then involved, of course, in Nazi negotiations and dealings, dealing with Antarctica.
It seems like whenever you do kind of like a run back. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you go ahead.
Whenever you do like your research back, you see, and this is where it kind of gets murky on whether or not there was like an underground civilization beforehand, and if I guess we built on top of that, because I know Phil Schneider kind of mentioned that as far as building deep underground military bases. Do you think? What are your thoughts on like a pre-existing civilization underground?
Oh, absolutely. There are, period, all over the world. Specifically, of course, you can do shows and shows upon that. But Phil Schneider was the interesting subject when he was basically drilling in for a military underground base and caught a cavern that had an establishment of extraterrestrials, so to speak, because they were once from outside of course, this world, but now very well established here. Yeah, the breakaway civilization has been around for quite a while and well established now, even interplanetary, but another subject for another day.
Well, all right, one more thing, and then I'll leave it alone. I'll move on.
You know,
Another
beat that
day.
horse.
Let's stay on this. I like this. Keep it rolling, bros.
I looked into Dr. David M. Jacobs and Bud Hopkins because I love the alien abduction phenomenon. I'm intrigued by it. It seems like now people that are talking about the alien abduction phenomena, some of these human alien hybrids that are coming through, or people that are being messed with genetically. It seems like the directive now, instead of just like, oh, hey, look, you've been impregnated by aliens, and here's your baby. The directive now is to move people in, to assimilate these people into society. And one more thing on top of that makes it strange is I feel like we're creating aliens for this fake alien agenda. Does that make sense?
Hey, very much so. The little, oh my goodness, there are. There's a lot of avenues we can go to here.
What did President Reagan say? What did President Reagan say? He said that if there was a threat of an alien invasion, that the countries of the world would unite. So, yes, absolutely. They're creating this aliens they're creating another boogeyman, the ultimate boogeyman, the ultimate, galactic boogeyman.
Yep, that's why Von Braun said what he did about that.
That they had help.
You know, I want to jump in just real quick and sorry to interject, but it's amazing. Have you ever noticed that when you jump down a rabbit hole, it seems like everybody else is on the same rabbit hole as you? Day at work, I was literally listening, and I linked one in our side chat. I just listened to a very nice speech, I guess it was about 18 minutes with Dr. Greer, in which he was talking about the dumbs, about the fact that there is nothing of value on the surface of the planet, everything of value for the elites is down underground, and he was going into it, and it was really impressive. I'm always fascinated by his presentation because he gives a very well-oriented set of facts that he knows, and you just gotta believe him. You just want to believe him. But at the same time, and I'm going to link this one over here as well, this is an individual, Aaron Judkins, that he was actually talking about what you guys are talking about with the alien abductions, the Nephilim, how basically it goes, the alien aspects and the Nephilim go hand in hand, and how it kind of ties together in a really good way that I hadn't heard presented before. But the funny thing was, I was listening to all these today, and I had never heard the concept that was coming out, and then you guys are in there going, they're creating alien DNA or alien hybrids.
Well, it's like, and I'm glad you said Nephilim, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because and this is just my research, when you look at it, they cover, the Smithsonian covers up giants, ancient archaeology, all kinds of different artifacts, because it gives authenticity to the Bible, it gives credence to it. Whenever they have giants, skeletons, and red-haired giants, black-haired giants, wherever you would want to look for them, whenever you look at it, they're back engineering that kind of DNA to create these aliens, these human alien hybrids, these chimeras of humans, and it's crazy because even it said, and I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, I'm not sounding like I'm thumping my Bible, but it says
there's nothing wrong with preaching, and I want to say that a lot of individuals are saying, oh, there can't be Christianity, if there's aliens, there can't be aliens if there's Christianity, and the two can't marry up and be in the
nonsense.
same.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yes, of course, nonsense, of course.
And I've got to say that my God that I'm very worshipful for, that I have faith in, I believe in a higher power, and my God is very mysterious in the way that He does things. And do I believe that it is a direct line from Him to us? No, there are many, many levels, and that aspect of it actually allows and alludes to when we give a name to something in English. That same word in Spanish or Italian or Latin or ancient Hebrew is different, but means the same thing.
Exactly.
We weren't there, and they described things then. I've been watching. I've been binge watching Doctor Who, and I love the. I was a Doctor Who kid. Everybody was either Star Trek or Star Wars. I was Doctor Who when I was growing up, and it always fascinated me that you could take the similar concepts, and depending on your perspective and your presentation with your background, you would call things something. A rose by rose is a rose by any other name.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I was talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. That was actually a real nice segue. I was out of my thunder.
Yeah.
In the idea of just like talking about the same idea, paralleling the ideas and trying to have like a commonality behind it. I was talking to this guy today. I don't know what you would call him. He works on Watson supercomputers. He does cognitive learning, machine learning, deep learning, and stuff like that. And he was talking about how one of the artificial intelligences he wants to build analyzes the syntax and the context of language. He wants to be able to give machines the ability to understand things in a different way. Like the same way we're talking about God is the same way he wants people to be able to research through his artificial intelligence the cosmic consciousness or the universe, and how all of these things have the same interpretations. They're literally just different words. And so he's trying to create an artificial intelligence which looks at the context and the syntax of language to narrow that down. I just thought that was a great way to kind of segue the idea of looking at two different things but seeing the same image.
Wow.
And it's funny that the other aspect is I don't think life, our iteration of life is our only iteration of life. And I was listening. I had a very creepy, strange encounter about 10 years ago with this 6-7-year-old boy. We were homeschooling my stepdaughter, and through the homeschool program, it was a Christian-based homeschool program, and we do outings. So it was my turn to take her, and we were going bowling. And I'm sitting there with this other mom, and we're watching the kids bowl. And she's telling me about her two boys, and she goes, "So you're down," and we had started talking about like down the rabbit hole kind of stuff. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're one of us," or you're a sympathetic mind. And she goes, "Okay, I'm going to call my son over, and for the love of God, I cannot remember his name. But I'm going to call my son over, and when he comes over, I'm going to introduce you, and I want you to just start asking questions about your past, your local past, that he can't know." Okay, I was really kind of taken aback by this. It was out of the blue, and it was like...
Caught you off guard.
Right. So she calls him over, and we're going to call him Little Bobby. And so Little Bobby comes over, and again, 6-7 years old, right at that point of understanding, of mastering language, and not really having the concept of people or lying or any of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, "Little Bobby, Mr. Scott's going to ask you some questions." "Okay, Mom." And he started doing this thing with his hands, and it was like this just weave that I couldn't even. But basically, what he allowed was his two fingers to be able to tap. And so I said, "Okay, Bobby, where was I raised?" And he looked off real quick. He looked down, and then his fingers just started fluttering. After about 30, 40 seconds, he looked up and he said, "You were raised in Oklahoma." Now, preface this: we're in South Carolina. Okay? They've never met me. They have no idea this is my first experience with them. I said, "Okay, Bobby, where did I go to college?" Looks down, flutters, start going again. He goes, "You went to college in New York." Oh, and this went on literally 20 questions. 100% he nailed everything spot on. I asked him what branch of service I was in. He said Army. I asked him what my specialization was. He said cavalry. I don't even know a 6-year-old that knows what cavalry is.
What grown man do you know that knows where Oklahoma is or New York? The fact that there's a 6-year-old child able to come up with these precise locations, that's insane.
Literally spot on, and I must have asked him 20, 25 questions, and he was spot on, answered every single one of them. If it wasn't a detailed answer, it was close enough to hit the bullseye. You know what I mean?
And did his mom tell you how long this had happened, or like when this started?
Oh, he had always been like this. And he had always been just this never. That's the second part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
This young man, this young boy. Finally, his mom stopped him. She said, "Mommy, okay, that's good." And she looks at me and she goes, "You satisfied?" And I'm like, and at this point, I got like freaking cackles all over, goosebumps all over me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I looked at her and I said, "Okay, I'm really impressed with the magic show. Where are we going next?" She goes, "Okay, now I want you to ask him questions about everything else besides your life." What? She said, "I want you to ask him everything besides your life." Oh, now we're getting creepy. So I looked at him and I said, and I just, out of the blue, I'm like, "Little Bobby, how many lives have I led? Have I had?" Or actually, it was, "Have I lived other lives besides the one I am now?" And he looks down and he starts tapping. He goes, "Yes, sir. You have lived 8 other lives, and this is your last, unless you choose to come back." I was floored. I then started asking all these questions about that, and I was like, "Okay, why would I choose to come back?" He goes, and again, we go through the whole routine, and this is a really long conversation.
Did he have any knowledge or any kind of information about your past lives, anything that you had done prior to you?
Oh yeah, he gave quite a few, but it was more very general descriptions, like it was because his understanding of history is very limited. He would describe wars, he would describe medieval type concepts, but it was very, very limited, and I wasn't really so much interested in that as just the whole methodology.
His ability to do that.
Right, and he made the comment that the only reason he said that I've learned what I need to learn. That the only reason why I would come back is for the love of somebody that needs to keep learning. And this happened 10 years ago, and it still creeps me. Not creeps me out. It just gives me the real shivers thinking about this incident every time, and it's one where I started thinking about it, and then I started thinking that maybe God isn't as cruel, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it would be cruel for God to give us one chance for our soul to either be saved or damned.
Exactly.
So if our souls are truly cosmic energy that is going through growing, adapting, learning, then we go through 30, 40, 60, 80 years, we learn our lessons, we go up, we have an after-action review with the power of being, and he says, yeah, this time instead of acting like a toddler or a spoiled brat, you're going to go back and you're going to help somebody else. And you're going to learn this lesson, and you're going to learn humility, and you're going to learn mercy, and you're going to learn right from wrong. Each iteration of our passage is what it either saves us or damns us. And it's hard to explain, but it's just that.
No, it makes perfect sense. I was listening to this. I was listening to this guy the other day. His name is Frank DeMarco, and he was talking. I hope nobody thinks, that EJ's listening to some crazy stuff, but this guy, he was, I don't want to say a necromancer, but more or less a medium with the dead. And what he was explaining as far as being there whenever people die and then seeing them transfer over, along the lines of having multiple lives and understanding that there's multiple realities. Frank DeMarco was saying how right now, because of how everything is always existing all at once, we need to take it day by day. Having a body slows it down so that we can learn lessons every single day for our overall consciousness, for our overall higher self, I suppose. The idea of reincarnation, the idea of being brought back through multiple lives is, like you said, is to learn these lessons, because you're not going to learn about racism during caveman times. You see, you're not going to learn about particle physics during the same time as the
dinosaur. You're going out. You've got racism against the dinosaurs.
They're too big. They're taking my land. But it's along the same lines as that, of where, and I feel like this is more evident than any other time in the world. This is why we need so many teachers right now, is because we're going back into a dark age period. And so people like Pete Santilli, people like ourselves, people like all the other alternative media, we're creating something that the people need because we're getting forced into.
Do you think that we're transgressing to the next level?
I'd say a little bit of both. Only because of, for a good segment of the show, we were talking about how trolls that are consciously going against the advancement of information and overall awareness. This creates, in my eyes, I feel like this creates that dark age mentality where people are choosing to be ignorant. I was talking to Eric about this at the start of the show too, of where, it's 2016. It is a choice to be ignorant.
I've got a presentation for you, and it's old. It's very, very old. And if you ignore the dates, the dates the gentleman gives, but just hear his words.
Okay.
I don't know what his name is. I stumbled across this video, and I was at work, and I had nothing else that I was needing to pay attention to audibly, so I've stuck this in. This guy is fascinating, and I'm going to link it in both chats. If you get 3, and I know it's long, to break it up,
okay,
but listen to this guy, and when you get the chance, he actually presents information that we're talking about, and from a Christian point of view, from let's say from a spiritual point of view, he presents it in a way that is clean, concise, very well informed, and his resume reads like a freaking jack of all trades and been there and done that. He spent 20 years in the military. He was in the CIA for 6-8 years. He was this, and he is one of those guys that if he was in the inside like he claims, he would have the knowledge that he's got. But his presentation method was very much how God is fitting this all together and making it all assimilate. And you don't have to just believe in aliens or believe in God. You don't have to just believe in Nephilim or aliens or Nibiru, and you can't believe in heaven. In the way that he presents it, I was floored by the end of it. Actually, I think I've still got about 40 minutes left of the video that I haven't quite caught. But again, it's older, so when he's talking about predictions, 99, 93, 96, 99, remember, time has a way of getting muddled, and plans have a way of getting changed if they get
delayed or anything.
Right. So I don't take his projections too much to heart with regards to what's going to happen, but how he explains it all fitting together is one of the best explanations I've ever heard by any presenter. And I'll leave that to both the chat room and our sidebar. Just if you get 3 hours of your time, give them a watch and see if it doesn't start to put the pieces to the puzzle together again. And I apologize. I did not mean to.
No, you're fine. That's fine. I'll definitely look into it. I was actually talking to Eric too before we started the show tonight. I was working on an entirely separate video segment called The World, where we do just that, where we look at things in, I would say, like a unilateral perspective. You know, Christian, patriot, activist, whatever you would want to call it. You know, we multidimensional, spiritual, whatever. We look at the occult world to really understand half of the things that are going on, because you can't look at anything anymore as just like, oh well, this is only happening here in the physical realm. Things are now manifesting from the spiritual realm here in the physical world, and we're having to deal with it.
Yeah, Jeff Hayes,
fighting principalities of darkness.
Now, my usual partner, he, have you read the book, EJ, that he wrote, Rise of the New World Order?
I have not, no.
We'll make sure, give me your address and we'll definitely get you one so you can, but this is something that he loves to talk about too, and I would love to have you back on next week if you have the time, and to go into all the different dimensions and realms that we're discussing tonight. This is some of my favorite things to talk about, because I do believe this is a battle between good and evil right here. It's on right now, and we're seeing it.
I would be honored to come on again next week. Hopefully I'll have my video done by then.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. But yeah, we all love having you. I can definitely tell that. You're one of us.
Thank you guys for having me. Like, really, it does my heart to know that while I'm over here just like studying away and working to what seems like an unknown end, to know that there are people out there that are actually working to this unknown end and believe in it. You know, it makes it work.
One thing, Faction, that is it Faction or is it DJ? I apologize, I missed the introduction at the beginning.
Officially, I'd like to go by as Freedom Faction or Freedom, but my legal name, and this is the only time I'm going to mention it online, is E. Clinton.
But no, Freedom Faction, whatever you would like your handle to be, if you're totally good with that, especially in the chat room, and what we tell people is pick a handle, whether it's your name or something you like, and stick with it. And that's because we get a lot of individuals that jump accounts and they, oh, well, I'm so-and-so. Anyways, point of it is, that last video, and that's the reason why I brought that up, was you had mentioned we're going into dark times. He actually addresses that, which is why I kind of asked you which way we're going. Because the way that he addresses it is, as planet Earth is ascending to the next level, our parallel Earth is dropping. And
yes.
And what he's describing is that the souls that need to be reborn and respawn to learn again, or to continue their learning, are coming back down. This one is going up, and that it is infiltrated, not infiltrated, that's the wrong term, but that there are a lot of negative entities here that are not necessarily soul-bound.
Yes.
And I can't describe it as well as he did, but he's saying it is a testing, like you're saying, in which this is the final, are we going to be able to make it up here with them, and a lot, and just because people don't make it, they've got to have a place to reside if they do not get transported, if they do not make the traverse of frequencies and up to the next level of understanding. And again, it was
mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm working. Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
What I was going to say was it kind of is a really modern way of taking the Book of Revelations and a lot of the prophetic views of the Bible and our ancient history from their understanding and the way that he modernizes it, not modernizes it, but puts it in modern terminology, actually marries up the two understandings to a very nice, concise, while yet still being God-oriented, Christian-oriented, and spiritually oriented. So he's saying just because they said this back then, this is what's happening in physics and in reality.
Yep.
And they're parallel.
Have you guys heard of Dr. Ted Brower?
Yes.
He talks sometimes about this particular understanding of like the human density, like the reality of being just that, of being a multidimensional being. I think what's even more wild, and I talk about this in my Tethered Verse series because I feel like CERN plays a huge role into it, is because, as you said, there's a world lifting. We're rising to a different density. This is what the New Agers talk about it as. And while there's a simultaneous parallel Earth lowering its density, I feel like with CERN, them poking multiple holes into multiple realities with this Tower of Babylon device, they're creating this shift, this paradigm shift. They're prematurely activating it, so to speak.
Well, they're actually trying to bring around the entire Antichrist situation, from my understanding, and that's why we're feeling that fight against the principalities of darkness. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Well, that's why I feel like they're putting up these temples of Baal, is because they're meant to. And this is just my two thoughts on it. I feel like they're meant to poison, infiltrate, or corrupt the magnetic ley lines of the planet.
They are, and they're meant to corrupt the souls that are not saved to this point. And yeah, I know I'm getting preachy, but anytime you delve into anything that is a portal into the occult, like a Ouija board or a freaking, like some sort of a druid, like that or a druid type rune stone, just anything like that. You can up a ball of worms, you don't even want to mess with.
Well, now this is actually where Lori has to pop in here with her.
Yes. I like how you mentioned the ley lines, because I am now I'm looking into the location that they're building the temples on. I do believe they are going to be on ley lines, and I talked to Scott a few days ago, and when I figured out, something came to me as Temple of Baal, the Mormon temples. So I had a friend of ours overlay the locations of the Mormon temples, onto a map of the ley lines, and they match up exactly. So there's something here, and I'm going to be researching this, and I've been telling you guys this for a bit. But I mean, and this plays into all of what's going on. It plays into the attacks that are happening spiritually to us, the attacks that are happening physically to us, the attacks that are happening on the alternative media at the moment. So, I mean, all of this is coming into play. It's all serving a purpose. And, we are definitely going against
rulers and principalities.
Spirits and principalities, exactly, totally. And we see it more and more every single day, and it's going to keep getting worse. Because, not to get preachy or anything, but the Bible tells us that as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the last days. And we are truly seeing that shift in what is happening. Many things are being revealed. If you guys go to research the different phases of blue beam, one of the first phases is to destroy what we believe about religion. So there's the three different phases, but the first phase is to destroy what we know about religion, and this is why we're getting attacked. This is why we're getting all these attacks in our lives, in our spiritual lives, and in the mainstream or in the alternative news media. This is why they're trying to shut us up, because we are the ones putting the truth out there.
And what sucks even more is because of all of these attacks, what that's really doing to us is creating this air of just self-censoring. Because, and I noticed this whenever we were just talking, because we're sitting here talking about truth, we're talking about God, we're talking about the Bible, and we all said, I don't want to get preachy, but it's that self-censoring of us trying to just break that mind control to get the truth across, to get the understanding across. But because of these attacks, because we don't want to be persecuted for certain things, because of all the spiritual war that's going on, you know, we're having to be engaged. It's like if you don't get engaged, you know, somewhat become a part of the problem. You become cannon fodder for the trolls.
And well, sometimes I want to get preachy, but you know how the trollage gets out there. And honestly, my duty as a Christian, a believer in Yah, is to be preachy, to spread the good word, to spread the gospel, to spread the news. And that is a very hard thing to do in today's society, because there are so many people that'll say, hey, I'll stand up for the Patriot movement any day of the week, but don't you tell me about Christ. And that bothers me a lot, because whether people want to believe it or not, you go back to the roots of this country, this is a Christian nation. And it was founded on Judeo-Christian values. And if you're ever going to get things right, you've got to repent and you've got to turn to Christ, not away from Him. If you're ever going to get on God's good side and have what we want, and that's to stop evil in its tracks.
Jeremy, I would like to, though, say that we fight fire with fire, right?
A lot of times, yeah.
I mean, in a normal firefight, and remember, I'm an old soldier. That's just kind of the way that my mindset works. So if the powers of B and the forces of evil have been slowly boiling us like frogs in cool water, I think that's our mindset. Is that what we need to do is to get a mind that is not naturally open to the truth and to Christ and to Christianity, but we start asking questions that get them thinking. Then if they travel the path that we lay out for them, they come to their own answer by themselves, and it's their answer.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to hit them with a ball bat. You have to plant that seed. And I absolutely, wholeheartedly believe that.
Absolutely. That's our responsibility, is to plant the seed, and you know, it'll water and it'll grow from there.
So absolutely.
People will remember what we say come down the road. They will.
They will, and I think that's the reason why we're so much in the habit of saying we're not trying to be preachy, because we're not. But sometimes it does come across it, and if we at least acknowledge and say, "Look, man, I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm just trying to give you some information and some truth," then they're not. Their internal defense mechanism doesn't kick in and just ignore everything we freaking say.
Well, kind of hard for me not to be quote unquote preachy, because that's who I am.
Exactly.
So that is my belief system, and that is through my research. If you truly go down the rabbit hole with an open mind, in my opinion, I don't think you can come out the other side without having some sort of relationship built with your higher power.
Exactly. And that's exactly where I've ended up. Prior to getting involved in doing, you know, the podcast and the YouTube and everything that I'm doing, I didn't, you know, so much. I really didn't even think that much about God. You know, I didn't want to get closer to God. I didn't want to know.
I started out young doing this, and I was born and raised a Catholic. My mom did the whole Mormon thing as a teenager, and I rebelled and I went to the other side. I did go. I did go to the. I was involved in some vampirism for a while. I was involved in the pagan. I was into the Wicca, and everything. But my daughter's father was a Satanist, so I've dealt with all of that. But you know what? That made me grow spiritually because I was seeing things, I've read things. I've read the Satanic Bible, I've read the Quran, I've read the Talmud, I've read all of these things, and I've always been led back to my faith in God, in Yah, in Jesus Christ, and so when I say I don't mean to be preachy, but that's just my belief. That's part of who I am and how I've grown. So,
Absolutely. And we're so conditioned in this PC environment, culture now, that we freak out, and the reason people have that defense mechanism is, how dare you offend my beliefs? How dare you say something that could hurt my feelings? I'm in my safe place or whatever. And that's the bullshit we're dealing with today, guys. It really is.
And just because somebody's just because somebody has done things in their past, that doesn't make that you can't hold that against them today. Mike is now a changed person because of his newfound faith in Jesus Christ. I've grown. Yeah, that's like this video that they're putting up about me. I'm pagan and everything. You know what? I totally admit I went that path. But here's the thing. Whatever people say about me or whatever, it's all out in the open. Nothing's hidden because I've made my life totally transparent for this reason, that they can't put anything out there that people don't already know. Mm-hmm. And I'm very honest. I'm very honest with my past and what religions I've been involved with. And that doesn't make me a bad person. That makes me a strong person. That makes me an informed person. And that makes me somebody who, when I tell you something, it makes me credible. In my opinion, it makes me more credible because I've been there, done that. Okay.
And the fact that because I feel like what this all forces us to do when we look down this rabbit hole is it forces us to judge ourselves. It forces us to think, hey, I shouldn't be doing this because I'm seeing the after effects. It's not only hurting me, but it's hurting people around me, and it's generally not contributing to society. And whenever people don't have that introspective judgmental moment to where they're thinking like, oh my God, like what have I done? They miss it. They miss the glory of what they could be doing, of what's actually out there.
Well, we're all adults, and regardless of what the decision was, if I had my 20-year-old self, the self that is half my age here, I would kick their freaking ass.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I would kick his ass is not about church or anything of that nature. It's literally about the decisions and the piss poor judgment I had 20 years ago. If 20-year-old self had 10-year-old me, he'd do the same thing. We are all in a learning phase, and what we were talking about earlier in the show with the whole past life concept is that we're given opportunities to get it right, to learn from our decisions, that we have a merciful God, that He wants what's best for us, and that at the end of the day, He wants us to be saved, not cursed. Mm-hmm. So He's going to give us every opportunity, whether that's 20 years, 50 years, 60 years in the same body, or if we have to do it all over again until we freaking get it right. And
people don't want redemption. They want to stay on this prison planet.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, some people are happier being fat, dumb, and happy, honestly. And that's sad, but it's the truth.
I honestly envy those kind of people because I wish I was dumb and I wish I didn't care and I wish I wish I wasn't blessed. I'll put it to you that way. And I'm not trying to say that that's what I want. I'm actually grateful for everything that I do have, but it's people out there that, to a degree, you do envy them because they are completely unaware of everything that's going on, and they're blissful in their ignorance.
You carry weight, but I fully, truly believe God will help you carry that weight. He'll never put anything on you can't handle. And that is, in a way, a bit of a burden, but it's a burden that God says He'll carry with you.
Are you guys familiar with Abraham Maslow?
No.
Abraham Maslow created a philosophy, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And
Maslow, right?
Maslow. And so, just for the rest of the panel, real quick concept of the philosophy is that you cannot get to the next level of understanding until you've satisfied the previous level. So the first one is hunger, food, and water. Basically, you cannot think about shelter if you're hungry. Once your belly's full and you drank all the water you can, then you can start thinking about the rain pouring down on your head. Once you have shelter, and before you have shelter, before you have security, you can't think about having a good relationship and procreating and doing it. So it's this hierarchy of needs. We need one thing, but we can't need the next thing before we've satisfied the root, the baser desire and need. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's us.
So as the pyramid goes up, the highest one is self-actualization. The one before that is knowledge, meaning you want to learn and gain as much understanding as you possibly can. Then once you've reached that understanding where you're comfortable, confident with your understanding of the world and everything that is out there and your place in it, then you can actually start going outside of yourself and acting selflessly to help others. Once you've done that, once you're at that plateau, then you're self-actualized and understand your place in the universe, and now you can start helping others attain that same level. And I think that the soul is right there at that, is doing that progression. That if you go back to the caveman days, as we were talking about chasing, riding Tyrannosaurus Rex to work with Club and working for Mr. Flintstone, Mr. Slate. If 20% of our population believes that's what happened. 25% of the population believes that's what happened. But if you go back then, you look at the society was very much at that base level. That there weren't a whole lot of philosophers back in the caveman days, even though they were drawing pretty pictures. They were still working up. They were still on the new soul level. That younger.
The rudimentary, basic level.
And if we look at history, we look at a lot of the 1,000, 2,000 year ago documents and transcripts, and we see a very violent, very selfish, very hedonistic society. And it slowly started to become, we have the age, the Renaissance. We have where the society itself was starting to become enlightened, and well, the Industrial Revolution screwed all of us. But you see where I'm going. Where
can I use this part to segue into transhumanism to kind of to modern day to a modern day model? And I understand that you're speaking my language. You're on point. Different periods of time displaying different characteristics of what it would mean to be human. As you said, not having a philosopher in caveman times, you're not going to find Socrates on a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
They had a philosopher. He's fire hot, burned. Sorry.
But with that idea that there are different periods of human existence that experience different parts of this paradigm shift, I feel like a modern day example of this is transhumanism, because I personally feel like Obama was here to subvert our Renaissance. From the time that he was in office, look at how many advances in technology we had and how many different chances that we could have used a real Renaissance to get ourselves out of this bind. the fact that we're here doing what we're doing now is a testament to the actual renaissance that Obama has subverted. And how transhumanism works in synergy with this is because while we're getting this consciousness, this awareness of past lives, of a global mindset, of a God consciousness, or even the different realms, the multidimensional fashions of understanding the glory of God, we're at this apex point to where we could go off and we could break these shadows, but the Illuminati, what they're trying to do, as you said before, the separation of these worlds, one that is going to a higher density and one that is sinking. They're trying to trap our physical, spiritual consciousness into this man-made construct, this artificial reality. They're trying to keep us here in this matrix that they've built, rather than letting it expand. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, very good.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That makes totally perfect. Let's get into some last thoughts, guys. We're about 10 minutes over, but listening to you talk, EJ, is freaking well worth going into overtime. And
yeah, real good. Real good.
Are we overtime?
Don't worry about it. We kind of go on our own time around here, but I want to come back next week and get deeper into the transhumanism, the AI. It's one of my most favorite topics. So just some kind of closing thoughts from everybody. How about you, Alberto?
As far as the transhumanism is concerned, listen, what's happening in black projects across the United States, and for that matter around the world in universities with genetical transhumanist experiments is astounding. We don't know what's going on. We should talk more about that. Thanks for bringing that up, DJ. Thank you.
Absolutely. How about you, Lori?
As usual, the conversation was very enlightening. I want to thank Roberto, and I want to thank EJ. I so enjoyed talking to both of you, and
I can't blush.
We have so much more to talk about. We have so much more. EJ, I want to invite you to come back on my show soon. Everybody really likes listening to you. I enjoy talking to you, and I know that they want to hear more from you.
I'm sure you'll hear from Mike too, EJ.
I need to have all you. I need to have you all on the show, but I don't know if I can have you all in the same time. But I feel like that's the beauty of it. So I'm gonna figure out how to get you guys all on my show, all on one take. It'll be awesome.
Dirty. Jeremy, any last thoughts, brother?
Hey, man, I appreciate the opportunity to come on, and I enjoyed the conversation. I always do. I learned something every time. I think that's what we're all here for, and anytime I can help even contribute a seed or a grain, I'm happy.
Oh, you do. With everything you send me. For sure, you do. And I've been sitting here taking notes.
For sure.
How about you, Scott?
This is all about us expanding our knowledge into others, as well as gaining it from them, from others. It's a collective, and not to be confused with transhumanism, which will be the ultimate collective, the ultimate singularity, to quote Lori from her Facebook post. But what we need to realize is that they're trying to kneecap our efforts, our abilities, and our motivation to become better people. They can't stop that. There's nothing they can do to stop that.
Amen.
They believe they can. Go ahead, Roberta.
The question is, are we going to be continuing on service to self or service to others?
My God's bigger than their God, put it that way.
Amen.
So we need to flow into more service to others, and let's see what that brings.
I agree.
And that is absolutely a wonderful final word that I would personally give, is that it isn't about ourselves. That selfless sacrifice that you give to others, that at the end of the day is what is your saving grace. When you're willing to give everything for someone else, you're a blessed soul because you're sacrificing yourself for someone else.
And if you choose to want to call it this, call it rational self-interest, if you will. It is to your self-interest that you treat others good. It helps. It will help you out. And you guys have a great night. Okay. Have a good night. Peaceful night.
Have a good night, Roberto.
It's wonderful karma. I get a personal, wonderful, warm, fuzzy feeling by helping others. That at the end of the day, I don't care if I'm on beans and rice, as Pete likes to say, steak and potatoes. But at the end of the day, if I can help one person, I've had a good day. So that's what matters.
That's what it's all about.
And don't necessarily help them out with $1, because that fiat currency isn't helping them. Help them with knowledge.
Another show.
Put money in their brain.
Pray for peace. Pray for the Patriots.
Right.
Do the right thing. Live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. We want to thank E.J. Clinton for being on tonight. Definitely want to thank Jeremy Roberts. We want to thank Lori, Roberto, Scott Schaller. And we also want to say, trolls, we're going to crush you with truth. Lick our balls. Welcome to the resistance. Peace.